I want to bring a word today from Haggai 2, 21, 22 about the nations and the shaking that we're in. Because Haggai and Zechariah both were lifting the vision of the people in the remnant in Jerusalem to say, look what's going on. The Lord is shaking. He's going to shake nations, but it's about the nations. The battle you're in is about the whole earth. It's not just about Jerusalem and the little remnant here. Zechariah had umpteen visions about, I think it was 8, about how the Lord was interested in Jerusalem. But not only that, but the earth. When you see the horses in Zechariah 1, red, sorrel, and white, and the angel of the Lord standing among them, they've been roaming to and fro throughout the earth. Where do we see horses roaming to and fro throughout the earth, or going to the earth? Again, it's in Revelation. So the book of Zechariah, the prophecies, the visions that Zechariah saw are all about the whole earth and what God is doing among nations. Zechariah was lifting the remnant's vision to say, look, this is about more than just you and this what you're doing here. God has a future and a hope for Jerusalem. And here's what's going to happen among all the nations with Jerusalem at the center. You go back to Matthew 20, I can't remember if it's 23, but I know it's 25, 25, let's talk about Matthew 25, where the Lord says, all nations are going to be gathered around me, and I'm going to say to the ones on my right who have treated my people correctly, which are the Jews and the Christians, I'm going to say, come and be a sheep nation, be on my right. The others are goat nations, the ones who rejected his people. Nations are very important to God, as we know from Acts 17:26. He said he made all the nations of the earth from one blood. Anyway, I'm going to read this passage from Haggai 2, 21 and 22. Speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake heaven and earth. I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms. I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms. Catch that. I will destroy the strength of the Gentile kingdoms. I will overthrow the chariots, and those who ride in them, the horses, and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. So we're past the remnant here. We're up above the concern with the remnant. He's saying, by the way, just so you have your perspective correct here, I'm the God who overthrows thrones of kingdoms. I'm the God who will destroy the strength of the Gentile nations, anything outside of God's people. We have now this wrecking ball of a president, Donald Trump, who is inspiring leaders all over the world to take hold of their individual nations, like Viktor Orban in Hungary. He's just done something, I can't remember what it was. He disturbed the norm in the EU by saying, nope, I'm not doing what you're saying to do about this coronavirus. I don't remember what it was, but all kinds of flack. I Googled it just a minute ago to see what the deal was, and I couldn't find it, but all the mainstream media mainstream media guys were, the headline was, oh, Viktor Orban, the dictator. They didn't say dictator, they say the authoritarian leader of Hungary is not, conforming to EU protocol on this thing. So what I'm just saying is we're in a time where the nations God is choosing sheep and goat nations. The people, the leaders, the leadership of nations right now who are respecting nationhood, we're going to see them rise up. We don't know what's going on with Kim, for instance. What's going on with Kim, who has persecuted God's people ruthlessly? And here in China, this man has persecuted God's people to an insane degree for years, and that whole government has. So we're just seeing, I'm just saying that we're seeing from Haggai and Zechariah, which we've been looking at, you go deeper into these books, and it's not about just us rebuilding the altar of worship to God, which we are doing right now. We're building the ark of his presence to go into the new era, as James Gall's dream explained. But there's a big picture here. And just to help us raise our vision, we're building an altar of worship to God. But what is God doing in the nations while we're doing this? It's huge. So be encouraged. Just wanted to give you that word. Bless you. Love y'all.